all you beautiful book babes. We are on our last episode for our Ami Wright month, and we saved the best for last, of course. This one is called Used by the Unicorn, and it's actually one of me and Nicole's favorite books. It has a more unconventional relationship with the main characters, and we really appreciate something different like this. It's not your typical reverse harem, but more of a poly relationship. Stay tuned to find out more. Hello, all you beautiful book babes. I am sorry for the interruption, but thanks to you all, we were able to obtain another sponsor, and this one I'm really excited about. This episode is brought to you by Dr. Ganja. Now, I know CBD and THCA is a controversial topic, but it's something I really believe in, so much so when I was in college, I wrote a whole paper on the topic and how it is so beneficial versus other medications. I even got my professor to convert on their beliefs on the topic. I used this company way before they reached out about being a sponsor. They have so many different products. They have flower, vapes, topical creams, gummies, spa stuff, and so much more. My favorites are their bath bombs, face wash, and their full spectrum sob relief. With having tendinitis in almost all my joints from playing sports growing up, this really helps with the pain in my joint. My husband loves their flower and vape products. He struggles with anxiety, and this really helps him when he's having an attack. We have never gotten a product and not fallen in love with it. If you want to take advantage of this, all you have to do is go to Dr. Ganja, so it's DrGanja.com, and then at checkout, use the promo code SMUT, S-M-U-T, for 5% off your order. This is not just a first-time order deal. You can use it whenever you order, which is fantastic. My husband already started using the code. Now, please take advantage of this offer. I think a lot of you will benefit from trying it. And you beautiful book babes, enjoy the rest of the episode. Bye! Hello, all you beautiful book babes. We are on our last Ami Wright episode, and it's actually one of both of our favorites.
Yep.
It's just so different.
It was hard for me to stop. I was like, I can't keep going because I wanted to tell you guys all about it, but it was hard to stop.
It was hard to stop. Stop!
Yeah. I didn't want to give out too much.
God. So what are we doing today?
Used by the Unicorn.
Yay!
Yes. So our female main character is Jade, and our main male character is Sterling. So Jade works for Callie, who was from book 1, in Callie's fashion house shop that she created. If you read book 1, you know what I'm talking about. Jade is not interested in dating or taking anyone home. Like, she just got out of a relationship, so she's not looking for anything. So when the delivery driver for the shop hits on her, she immediately shuts him down. It's just like, get a new route.
Like, don't come here again.
Yeah. You need a new route. Later on at work, Sophia, the same Sophia as before, comes in to see Callie. Sophia is looking for more people to tend to a party for a herd of unicorns. Jade is excited and says that she's all in because it sounds like a good time. Like, no strings attached, just fun.
Yeah, sex party.
Sex party. The herd is throwing a party, and in the herd for this is just the 4 unicorns, but they are sexual creatures. So they throw sex parties where they have sex with each other, but in these parties they also have sex with other people. Jade is excited to participate in it. She had already caught Sterling's attention, one of the unicorns in the herd, but her being excited to participate really got his attention. Like, at first he was like, yeah, she's pretty, but whenever she was excited to participate, he was like, I want her.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, I found someone who understands us.
Exactly, and for it being a human too, he was like, okay. Safi and Knight, who is also part of the herd, is putting together the party for Boaz, I think I said that right, Boaz? B-O-A-Z, and Sterling to find their bond mate.
Bose?
I think it's Bose?
Boz?
You know
Google!
What? Google. How to...
Oh, don't scream Google in my house. Everything will go off. Google will be like, okay, I'll turn on your lights and...
Boaz.
Boaz.
Boaz. All right. So yeah, Safi and Knight are they're putting the party together for Boaz and Sterling to find their bondmate. But Sterling can't help himself but be distracted by Jade. He had people trying to get his attention, trying to play with him at the party. But he can't stop staring at Jade. So he decides to just go ahead and fuck her and get her out of the system.
Don't do that.
It never works out.
In these books, no. You can't just fuck it out of you.
No, they think one time's gonna be enough, and then it's like after that one time, you're like, holy shit, I need more. So Sterling ends up fucking her in front of everyone, and Jade is loving it, having all those eyes on her while he fucks her.
I never got into voyeurism.
I don't think I could either.
I tried. Like, I was like, okay, let's try this. So, like, a movie theater where it's really hard to get caught, and it didn't do it.
Even, like, being, like, at parties whenever I was younger, and, like, my boyfriend would try to fill me up in front of people, it was kind of like, anyone could see, stop touching me. Yep. Don't touch me, dude.
It's just not, I don't get that. I get other people, like, they say it's a rush, and I'm like, okay, but is it really? Because most of the time you're in a safe environment that people know that's gonna happen. So It's like, is that really taking that chance? Now, if you go and fuck in a stadium or some shit, I'm impressed.
I could kind of see it. So, like, if you were with two guys or something, or maybe a guy and a girl, and one of them was watching, that I feel like I would enjoy that. Okay. Like, if that was someone sitting there, like, all right, watching us two get it on, I think I'd enjoy that.
All right, then.
But a whole room full of people that you don't know just watching you, I would get shy. I don't think I'd be able to come.
ADD. Wait, hold on. ADD moment. Did you know South Carolina banned porn? I'm being dead serious.
No.
I tested
like the
it.
Making of porn?
No. Watching it. So if you connect to your Wi-Fi, right? Obviously, if you're not on your Wi-Fi, they can't. Wi-Fi a lot. Okay. They don't pick it up. But if you were on your Wi-Fi and you try to get on a porn site, it blocked you.
I was just on a porn site a week ago, but I wasn't on my Wi-Fi.
That's why.
All right.
Because we were testing it out. Wi-Fi. We found out one day, and I was like, I need to figure this out. And, like, it says you have to acknowledge it. I'm like, okay, I acknowledge, and then it wouldn't move forward, so I'm like, okay. And then I was like, okay. And then Billy was like, let's try a few things. So he was like, okay, I'm going to turn off my... Oh, he was at work and he told his friend about it. And they were talking about it for some reason. And they got on it and it was like, oh, it turned on. I was like, okay. And then we figured out it was the Wi-Fi. He wasn't connected to Wi-Fi there. Because I was like, oh, well, you were in Georgia, weren't you? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, maybe it's not banned there.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, it's banned.
Well, that's fucked up. Good thing they have DVDs.
I know, right?
When they're done fucking, Sterling wants to see Jade again, but that actually freaks Jade out. The whole point of this party was fun with no strings. Yeah. So him wanting to be with her, see her again, freaked her out. The whole reason was she would never have to see them again. So when he asks for her number, she tells him sorry and just straight up leaves. Sterling is desperate to get a hold of Jade again, so he goes to Sophia at Monstrous and begs her to get something set up so he could see her again. Sophia can't get a clear reading on the both of them, but she can get a clear reading on Sterling and his intentions and know that his intentions are good, so she agrees to try and get Jade.
And I wonder if she couldn't because there's so many partners involved. Like, that was my thought, because this is the only one she couldn't.
I was thinking that, or maybe the baby.
Okay, maybe.
So, when we get back to Jade's point of view, we find out that she's pregnant, which I just said. And it's not by Sterling. She's not pregnant for Sterling, obviously. So we get a little bit of background on Jade's past and her ex, who left her with a lot of debt. When Sophia calls to talk to Jade about meeting up with Sterling, she immediately shuts it down. But right after they hang up, Jade calls Sophia back asking what Sterling is offering to pay. Because she needs money. Yeah. So if she's going to do this, she might as well get money. While Sterling and Jade are on their date, Jade gets sick. And on the ride home, she's getting a call from the clinic about her appointment to do a scan of the baby, and it freaks her out. She eventually tells Sterling that she has something to do the next day, but doesn't want to, and he offered to go with her, which I think is so sweet. Mm-hmm. And I really love the way Sterling and, like, the herd completely accepted her and the baby. Like, even though it's not his, they were like,
Hey, we're making. Well, I think even one said, "Well, you're making a herd bigger."
Yeah.
So I mean, they can't complain.
Exactly. Like Sterling was so accepting of her being pregnant, didn't even bother him that it was someone else's kid. It's just like, yeah, okay, let's do this. So after the appointment, Jade agrees to be friends with Sterling. Just friends. But Sterling has a way of calming Jade and diffusing her when she gets mad, and so he's not giving up that easily.
Mm-hmm.
He invites Jade over to his house to meet his herd, like officially. While they were there, we get the dynamic, which I kind of explained already. Safi and Knight are bondmates, but they also sleep with other people.
Okay.
So, like, the herd doesn't do monogamy like humans do. They get into the discussion of how they all have sex, and it leads to Jade wanting to fuck both Boaz and Sterling. And I had a question here. If they were all fucking each other, and other people, how does Knight and Safi know that the baby's is Knight's? Like, it could be Boaz's or it could be Like, how do you know this is Knight's baby? Would it be possible, like, with how open they are, it's another?
They probably don't care.
Maybe.
Because, I mean, look at how they treated her, Jade.
True.
So I would think they just don't care. Yes, Knight and her together, and that's their kid, but they see it as it's a group
True.
effort.
My other thought process was maybe you could only get pregnant by a bondmate.
Oh, maybe.
It wasn't explained, but that was just one of the questions that flew through. Like, y'all are all in this open relationship, so, like, how do you know this is Knight's? Like, I understand y'all are bondmates, but how do you know?
I mean, also, maybe if you take on a mate, you kind of have to slow your roll a little bit. I've thought about that too. I was like, maybe they just slow down with her and just do other stuff with her.
True.
And only Knight gets to fuck her now that they're mate bonded.
True. So Jade, now she has an understanding of the herd. She wants to play. Yeah. And they ask who she wanted to play with because their thing is like whoever wants, like they control. So if she wanted all of them, it was up to her to say that, and everyone else could be yes or no, but it's up to her to decide who she plays with. And she decides to play with Boaz and Sterling. During the scene with Boaz and Sterling fucks Jade with his horn, and as soon as I downloaded this book, I looked at Jesse and I said, I bet you he fucks her with a horn. I knew it, because as soon as I saw it was a unicorn, I'm like, he's a fucker with a horn.
He's gotta. That needs to happen.
And when that scene happened, I was like, I knew it!
I'm sorry, her Patron ruined the dicks, like, describing their dicks a little bit, because when she described it, it sounded like a normal penis. But then when you actually see her artwork, it looks like a dog's red rocket.
Yeah, true. True.
Which is accurate, because it's a horse, so, yeah. And horses have red rockets, I get it, but it kind of, I was like, what the fuck is that, when I first saw it.
That's not what it was described.
Or maybe I missed it. Maybe I missed the description of the penis.
You know, I really don't remember a description of it.
Yeah.
Huh. I was excited whenever he fucked with the horn. I was like, yes! And obviously, it's not a pointy horn, or, he had something on top of it, or else he'd be stabbing her. So.
Well, they shave, and that's one of the things with his one, I don't know what to call her, Knight's wife, because I don't know what they are. Herdmate. They all shave their horn, so it is rounded.
Yeah. But they have the cap on it, too.
Yeah.
So he had a cap on it, so he wasn't stabbing her and killing her. When Jade wakes up between Sterling and Boaz, she freaks out and runs. Later on, Sterling finds Jade at work, and they're talking about the health of her baby. Because she's drinking so much coffee, she was worried, like, hey, maybe I need to stop. And Sterling tells her he could help with the health of the baby. He unscrews the cap to his horn to show her that it's actually blunted at the end. The unicorns grind up parts of their horn to give the women in their herd to drink to help with the pregnancy.
Yeah, because it's that's actually true lore. Like, it goes between their blood and unicorn blood and the unicorn horn. It helps, like, with heal anything, basically. Yeah. I think the blood actually can heal death.
Oh.
Lore-wise. Yeah. So, I'm glad she didn't do that, though. Yeah. You were drinking unicorn's blood.
Right?
In a book. Hello, all you beautiful book babes. I am sorry for the interruption, but I'm pleased to tell you that today we have one of our oldest sponsors back again. So this episode is brought to you by Dubby. Dubby is an energy drink with no sugar, but does not give you that jittery feeling or crash after you drink it. There's no fillers, artificial colors, dyes, sugars, or any of the other BS and preservatives. My personal favorite to drink is the Peach and Peach for when I need that extra pick-me-up when editing our podcast all night. All you have to do is click the link in the description Or, because I know links can be a little finicky, go to www.dubby.gg and in the coupon code field put SMUT, SMUT, for 10% off your order. Thanks for listening.
The next weekend, Jade goes with Sterling and his herd to go for a run. This is where the herd goes full horse, because obviously they're not always in horse form throughout this book.
It looks like a hot guy with a red rocket with abs with a mane and a horn sticking out.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. So this is it. So they go to gallop about in the field as their full unicorn self. Sterling offers to let Jade ride them during their run since she wouldn't be able to keep up with them. And after the run, there's a lake for them to take a swim, but it's not just swimming, it's actually playtime.
Yay!
Jade sees Sappy and Knight playing, and Sterling asks Jade if she wants to join Sappy and Knight, and she agrees. Knight teaches Jade how to pleasure Sappy while Sterling is screwing Jade. Boaz gets in on the fun too, and yeah.
Yeah, he's everybody.
Yeah,
it's a group
effort. It's literally a group effort. Because later on, Jade was upset that she couldn't make Sappy come, and she said Sappy had told her, like, this is why we're a herd. It's teamwork. Because Knight had to help her. And she was like, this is why we're a herd. We're all here to help each other. And I was like, damn, that's awesome.
That's love right there.
That is love right there. When they get back to the house, Sappy goes into labor. And instead of taking her to the hospital, they take Sappy to the Grove. It's the place where magic energy accumulates. And so it's special to help with like birthing, healing, stuff like that for these mystical creatures, I guess. I did stop there, but there's a lot more to come.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, you missed a lot.
A lot to come. It was at 60%.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, I was at 60%. So there's a lot of drama with Jade's ex and the baby.
Yep.
Definitely with the baby. But I like this one a lot because it was different. Like, each book in this series is different. They all about different monsters, but each have different dynamics as well. And I love this dynamic in this one. The open relationship, share with the herd. It was just...
Because it's not just like... I feel like nowadays, there's not poly in a book. It's more like reverse harem.
Exactly.
So it's like, it's nice and refreshing to try something different.
Exactly. Because normally whenever you read something, it's like the two guys are together and then they're also with the girl or something like that. It's not really all open. This was open. And I really liked it. It was like a real, refreshing taste to my palate, I guess. They still had the mates, so they were still connected too. It's just they all shared. The Goodreads rating is 3.93. Overall, I gave it a 4. Smut, I gave it a 4. Humor 1 and emotional 2. And I only gave emotional 2 was because of the stuff with the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff with the baby had me like, oh fuck.
Yeah, the end of the book just had me in like tears, like everything. Yeah. Like when her ex showed up, when freaking she had the baby, I was like, and then he shaved off his horn, and I was like, oh,
right. Whenever that happened with the horn, and like come to find out she was, yeah, I'm not going to give too much away, but yeah, it was some emotional shit down there. Yeah, used by the unicorn.
Yay!
It was a damn good read.
Yep, is one of our favorites. But that's it for today's episode. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the podcast. Also, next month we will be doing Mafia.
Fuck, yes we are.
That's more your genre.
That is my genre 100%. Like, I fucking love Mafia. I've read so much, but it's still so fucking good.
I don't know. It's hard for me to get into Mafia. I don't know why. I guess because I was raised in that, so I don't find it... Not that I don't find it interesting. I don't know.
You don't find it attractive, kind of?
Just been in that life, so it's like one of those, like, I really don't want to relive it. Like, yeah. I tell my husband stories, and he goes, huh? Like, yeah. My grandfather taught me how to hotwire a car and break into a car. He, like, said he would find me a husband when I was younger. Like, yeah, like, that kind of thing. Oh, yeah, literally, the first time I got arrested, my grandfather congratulated me. I got a card and a present. Like, it was my fucking birthday.
Oh, jeez. I would say the one and only time I got arrested, my dad had a lawyer before I even got to the police station, and I was out of cuffs in a second.
Oh yeah, I was bailed out for like an hour.
Like before they even took my fingerprints, my dad's like, nope.
Yep. Like, it was so funny. I was watching the cop type on his little computer while I was in the back and he was taking me, and it was hysterical because the other cop was texting him, like, oh, they already left to go get her. And he's like, we're not even at the jail yet.
Yeah.
Her family
Right?
already left to go get her, so.
Yep.
And he goes, well, what's up with their car? Because I got into an accident and then they took me. And apparently my license, there was an issue because I just moved states. And apparently I had an old ticket I didn't pay, and it was this whole thing, but really I did pay it. Apparently I had to contact someone to renew my
Just a
license.
bunch of bullshit.
It was a bunch of paperwork, and it was just such bullshit.
Yeah.
So.
Mine was because my mom called the cops on my brother. I wasn't even home. I was at a friend's house. I was in ninth grade, and my brother was pissed off that my mom called the cops on him. So he broke into my room and showed the cops the marijuana plants I was growing. The cops let it go. They were like, look, we're just going to take the plants. She's not here. We're just going to take this and be done. But the next day at school, the truancy officer had heard about it and arrested me. I'm like, dude.
It's already been done.
It's already been done. This is close. They took my plants. They talked to me over the phone, told me not to do it. If they wanted me, they knew where I was at.
Yeah.
Who the fuck are you to come into school and arrest me? Like, oh, what? So by the time I was in the cop car, my dad was already, like, lawyered up.
Damn. See, that's one of the few things I like about Trump. He's trying to get it legal everywhere.
Yeah. But I think what I like most about the mafia is the men. Like, how they act. Like, at first, it always pisses me off how, like, they're attracted to her, but they're like, oh, I'll push her away because she can't be in this life. It's safer for her. It always pisses me off, but the way they're possessive of her, the way they, like, do anything to protect her. Fucking love that shit.
My problem, I think, is the obedience thing, because I was taught to be obedient to men. And, like, if a man tells you to do something, you fucking do it, and you deal with it. Like, I forgot, like, Billy, his friends were like, they were working till like 7 o'clock at night, and I didn't call him because I was always taught when a man is working, you leave them the hell alone. And if you ask questions, you expect to get answers that you don't want to hear. Like, they're cheating on you and shit like that. So you don't ask questions. They're at work, and you live with that. So literally, he called me and he goes, my friends wanted me to call you because you didn't call me asking why I was working late. I was like, you're working late, aren't you? He goes, yeah. I was like, okay, I know where you are.
Like, okay.
And I told him, I was like, I was always told you don't check in on men because you're going to get, if you ask a bunch of questions with something like that, you're going to get answers you don't want to hear.
Yep.
So you just need to deal with it.
Yep.
And I came to terms with that. I was like, you know what? And I know he would never cheat on me. So I think that's what it is for. I'm just going to let him work. If I call you and blow up your phone, you can't get your job done.
Yeah.
And leave.
Yeah. True. But there's not a lot of that in the mafia. I mean, there are some, like, where it starts off like that, where the dads are like, you're going to obey this husband and da-da-da-da-da. Yep. But then something always happens and the girls are always fiery and like, fuck you. Like, yeah. I love mafia.
Oh, yeah. The girls in mafia, because that is in mafias and, like, you know, that kind of build, you are the queen. Yeah. You run that house.
Exactly.
So, you think you're stepping on me? No, sir. Yeah. I can manipulate you without even blinking an eye, and you think that everything's all hunky-dory, though. Yep. So, but yeah, that's next month's series. And then also make sure to follow us on all social media. We still have TikTok. I don't know when that's going away. But we still have TikTok. We have Facebook. We have Instagram. And then once TikTok goes away, we'll figure it out. I'll play with it. But you beautiful book babes, have a wonderful day. Bye.
Bye.